Hey guys, this is Jeremy. I just wanted to do a quick video on how I neck down 6.5 SAUM from 7 SAUM using Norma brass. And the reason I thought it would be pretty neat was because a couple of the guys from Team Area 419 were getting some new rifles this season, and it's chambered in the 6.5 SAUM cartridge. So that would be pretty neat for me to show you how I at least do it in-house. So some of the equipment that we're using here right now. First step, we're going to be using a Redding 6.5 Gap 4S full-length sizing die, and inside that full-length sizing die is a 296 size bushing. And it's kind of important to note why we're using the 296 size bushing, and it's because it will take a 7mm size neck and it will neck it down to 6.5mm on the interior of the neck. And the reason it will do that is because it also takes into account the extra thickness that the neck wall will be, because we're necking it down from 7mm to 6.5. So the first thing we'll do with this piece of brass is we'll run it over top of our case lube. We'll get some case lube on it. And then what I like to do is to put some Imperial sizing die wax, just a little film of it, on the outside of the neck. And what that will do is it'll help prevent galling, and it will run through the 296 bushing rather easily. So we run it through that full length die and the 296 bushing, and effectively that's step one. So we've necked it down from 7mm to 6.5mm. The next thing we're going to do is put in our expander mandrel die. And you're probably thinking, well, that sounds kind of weird. We just necked it down. Why would we expand it? There's two reasons for that. So what we're using is expander mandrel die with a 264 caliber or 6.5mm mandrel inside. And the two reasons why we're going to run it through this expander mandrel. First reason is the mandrel will expand the interior dimensions of the neck to what we need it to be when we run it through our neck turner on the arbor. The second reason, which may be the most important reason, is that it will attempt to push out all of the little imperfections that are on the interior of the neck, and it will push them out to the exterior, which will allow us to hopefully turn those off using our neck turning tool. So we'll go ahead and expand that. So the neck expanded, those are steps 1 and 2. So let's go take a look at step 3. Step 3 is to trim it. We've got our Girard trimmer all set up, and we've got a shell holder for the 6.5 SAUM. We're going to go ahead and trim our brass. So the Girard trimmer is really quick, really easy, and it puts a really nice chamfer on the inside, and it's very consistent. And we are trimming all of our brass to 2.020 is what we're looking for, but looks like we are about, oh no, we're okay. 2.020 is where we're at, and that's where we want to be. It was looking like it was half a thousandth off, which was still pretty good. So the next step after that looks like it will be step 4, is to actually turn our brass. So let me get you down here to you so you can get a good angle on this. Move the camera in. So what we've done is we've set up our 21st century neck turning lathe. We've dialed it into 14 thousandths. That's our neck thickness that we're looking for. We're going to go ahead and put the brass in there, tighten it down, and we're going to put the case on the arbor. And nice thing about the drills that I'm using is they're pretty much set up to run at a consistent RPM when you got the button all the way pushed in, which is about 230 RPM, which I found to be about the most perfect feed rate for this. And I don't know, yeah, you can see it. Our goal is to turn slightly in to the shoulder, which is where it's going right now, and it's perfect. And what that will do is it'll help to prevent any donuts from forming later on. And that's another reason why trimming the brass to the same length on all of them that we're using is pretty important, because that will allow our neck turner to trim into the shoulder on each piece of brass pretty well consistently. So just run it back through just to make sure that everything is nice and consistent. And we've got our shoulder looking good. Go ahead and take that out. So that's one piece of brass that's been turned. It takes a little bit of time. And you can see here, if I can get it there, you can see that I've turned slightly into the shoulder, and that's about perfect right there. So the next thing we'll do is just a quality check. We'll come over to our tube mic, which is about the only thing that you should be using to measure the thickness of your brass necks. And like I said, we were setting it up to look for 14 thousandths. Is where we wanted to trim to. And we are spot on at 14 thousandths, which is really nice. So our next step after we've turned our brass is I like to run it through the Gerard annealer. And the way we set that up is pretty much we'll take some Tempolac paint, which is a temperature indicating paint. We'll use the 750 degree paint, and when that melts, that's effectively 750 degrees, and we want the flame to be just about right about there on the brass, and 750 degrees for the right amount of time in the flame to get to that temperature, and then it drops out. The reason that I like to anneal is that we've effectively done a lot of work to that brass, necking it down. So you're starting to harden it, so the best thing to do is to anneal it to get it back to the right softness that it should be. And those are pretty much the steps for necking down from 6.5 to 7. The last one that's part of the process, if you want it to be, would be I would take that piece of brass that we just finished and I would run it back through the full-length die, but I would change the bushing. And I'd probably put either a 290 or a 291 size bushing in that die, and I would just put a little bit of neck tension on it. And then all you have to do is to shoot it. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys that are interested in the 6.5 SAUM cartridge. I hope to have you back to watch some more videos, and thanks for watching.